Bam! We're live. All right. Hey, guys. Welcome YouTube and Twitter and Facebook and everybody out there. My name is Sean and Sean Cowgill. This is Federal Prison Talk live, so we can have a chance. You can call in later. And I got two guests today. I got Vlad. He's Moldovan. He's Russian from Moldova, but he lives in America. He's all of those. And he's about to go to Otisville Federal Prison Camp. Going to tell you all about that journey. We got Angie from Prison Talk with Angie. Don't subscribe to her channel. Check her out. You don't want to miss a woman's point of view about federal prison.
Hey, Angie.
Hi.
And me and Angie, we all helped Vlad, and his mother's coming on too to say hello.
Right on. I can't wait to meet her.
Guys.
I hope she's gonna come home because she's not home yet. She should be home in 20 minutes though.
Okay.
So we got.
I'm at work right now, so if I ever disappear,
going to prison. Well, I'm sorry,
Sean.
Angie.
If I disappear, it'll just be momentarily. I'm at work, so if somebody walks in, then I'll mute.
Wow, great. Okay, well, hey, do a show, get paid for it, and at work at the same time. Yeah, pretty good.
See what I'm saying?
Yeah. All right. So, who wants to go first? Vlad, why don't we talk about you? I mean, you were on here before, and maybe we start from the beginning for people who don't know you, haven't heard your last show, because you had a hell of a story at the airport when you came to help your mother. You had no idea you're going to be sitting here today getting ready to go to prison on that airplane. You want to back up to that?
Yeah. I basically okay, so about a year and a half ago, I found out that my mother got indicted by the federal government, and I didn't know if they're looking to indict me. My mother spoke to her lawyer, and she had a free lawyer at that time, and he told her that I'm okay. Nobody's looking for me, because our private lawyer said that if she got a private lawyer right away, he would have said that the feds are looking for me. But we didn't have a private lawyer at that time. We only had a public defender. So he said that, it's okay for me to come to America. So, I took a plane. I came over here. And when I got to when the airplane landed, the door opened to the plane. I didn't even get to come out of the plane. The feds.
I'm going to meet you for a minute, Angie. You got some music in the background?
Yeah, let me mute it. Sorry.
Okay. Go on, Vlad.
Yeah, the moment the plane landed, the feds they asked me politely. Somebody over the intercom asked me to come out of the airplane
on the loudspeaker where everybody could hear it.
Yeah.
Wow.
So they asked me to come out of the airplane, and I didn't know what was the reason for that. I thought it was a problem with my luggage because when I was in Germany, there was some problem with my luggage. So I thought it's because of that. So when I step out of the airplane, there's federal agents all over. There's like 6 or 7 of them. So I'm still thinking, in my mind, somewhere deep down, I know I'm fucked. I'm like,
you kind of know right there. I watch these TV shows, the FBI, these cop shows and stuff. Here you are, like the star of this TV show movie.
Right.
It's all flashing in front of you. This is how they do it, man. They work in numbers, man. It's not just one agent.
Nah, and I kind of saw them. So deep down, I knew I was fucked, but I was still hoping maybe it's nothing. And I'm like asking them, guys, is it a problem with my luggage? What's going on?
At this point, I don't think so.
Yeah, and they're like, "Oh, don't worry about it. We just gotta talk to you.
Sure.
We just gotta talk to you real quick, and it's gonna be fine." I'm like, "Really?" They're like, "Yeah, just let's walk with us." So they really quietly, nicely, politely. They don't make a show. They just escort me. They're walking next to me. They get me to the customs. They got me to the customs, and then they walk me in the room. They sit me down. They tell me They sit me down. They tell me, Vlad, you're being charged with money laundering and bank fraud.
So did they got you handcuffed to a little table?
No, they didn't handcuff me, nothing.
What's in this little room? Describe what that looks like. Because right now your mind's going, you're in the interrogation room right now, right? You got to be thinking, oh no.
No, it's not an interrogation room. No? It was like a classroom. It looked like a classroom. Okay. There was a big wooden table in the middle, and at that point I wasn't handcuffed, nothing. So I didn't think it was a big deal until I sit down and a nice black lady is like, Vlad, you're being charged with money laundering and bank fraud. And then, I'm like, oh shit. So they're like, give us your passports. So that I have 2 passports. I'm a double citizen. So that I'm an American citizen and I'm a Moldovan citizen.
So that American citizenship wasn't working out for you too well. Your American citizenship hasn't worked out for you too well.
Right. So they confiscate both my passports, and I don't remember if they handcuffed me. I think they handcuffed me to a chair. I'm not sure.
That's why I said that, because I remember at one point they did. You told me they did.
Yeah, and yeah, they drove me to Manhattan. I'm from New York, so they drove me. I live in Brooklyn, but they drove me to Manhattan to the federal building, and they were interrogating me, saying a bunch of lies, so I would turn to my family and my friends. They were saying that my mother hates me, my family, they disown me. I'm like, what are you talking about? I just spoke to them like,
you're coming to help your mother. How could she
exactly?
hate you?
I just spoke to them like 10 hours ago. What are they talking about? I'm like, this is crazy.
Are they trying to tell you?
Not only that,
they're trying to say
what mother hates their kid?
What's that?
I said, what? Besides that, what mother hates their kid? Are you kidding me?
Yeah, well, mostly. So did they tell you your family already turned against you? So now you might as well turn back against them. They kind of say something like that.
Huh?
Did they say that your family already turned against you?
Yeah, they said that my family already snitched on me.
Yeah, okay. That's one of their tactics, man.
Yeah, and I'm like, listen, guys, I got no idea what are you talking about. I'm like, I just came back to America. I haven't been in America for like 2 years. And I'm like, listen, I just came back. I really don't know what you guys are talking about.
I got to say hi to Wendy real quick, because Wendy is the world's greatest moderator. Wendy, I'm going to throw you a wrench too, because I guess you don't have one. Wendy puts up everybody's YouTube channel sites and everything. Wendy is on all the channels. Wendy, you need to get paid for what you do. But thank you. Go on, Vladimir.
Right. And, so I just told them that I don't know what they're talking about, and that's it. And they're like, okay, is that what you're gonna tell the judge? I'm like, yeah, that's what I'm gonna tell the judge. I have no idea what you guys are talking about. I haven't been in this country for a couple of years, and that's it. So, okay, so they drive me over to the federal building, to the MDC Brooklyn. I spend a night over there, and next day they transfer me back to Manhattan, to the federal building, and I get bailed out.
Okay, how'd you get bailed out? How much was the bill?
It was $150,000 bail with $7,500 cash.
Really? Wow.
Yeah. Okay. So it was $150 bond and $7,500 cash.
Oh wow.
Yeah, but little did I know that I'm not going home for the next 4 months.
Yeah, right.
Because apparently when they escorted me out of the federal building, the detectives came, and they picked me up and they told me that I have a warrant that's 10 years old. It's a 10-year-old warrant for my arrest for violating probation, which I didn't even know I violated.
You didn't know you violated. What were you on probation for?
It was a robbery case.
Oh, yeah. So I didn't know about you either. So and you still did they try to use that in your pre-sentence report and all that against you?
No, because I was underage.
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah,
all
so they couldn't use that against me.
Okay.
Yeah. So so they got me for that warrant, and they drove me to Rikers Island. Straight to Rikers Island. They didn't even get me to the bookings because they said that it was a Friday evening and the bookings are closed up. So you just sent me to Rikers Island. I spent like 3 days in the waiting area over there before I even saw the doctor, because it was a Friday. So I was waiting till Monday to see the doctor. And, then they gave me 6 months in jail. That was my sentence.
Now that's a hellhole, right? That Rikers Island, that's got to be a hellhole, right?
Honestly, it's not, like, once you get used to it, like, I've been to 4 different buildings in Rikers. There's altogether, I think there's like 6 buildings over there.
Yeah.
I was in the intake building, which is the 6th building. I was on a boat, which is in the Bronx. It's a big boat, and they transferred me to the boat. I spent about a month on the boat. Then I got transferred to Old Boy. Old Boy is one of the worst buildings in Rikers Island. That's where all the bad inmates are being held. And then they transferred me to the adolescent building. At the very end, I got transferred to the adolescents, and I was there with the adolescents.
Wow. All right.
Yeah, but it wasn't that bad. Once I got used to it, now I'm not even afraid of that stuff no more. I know how to move. I know how to talk.
Sure.
I know my way around. Like, I'll be honest with you, MDC Brooklyn, I think is much worse than Rikers Island.
Really?
I think so. I think it's much crazier.
You know what? I believe so, because I've heard that you're in there with rapists, terrorists, child molesters. It's like the worst federal detention center. I think it's worse than the Oklahoma City one. Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty bad, man. I was over there. Guys were banging on the doors, screaming till like 2:00 in the morning. Fighting all over, like going crazy. I never seen stuff like that.
So that's where you would be right now, if it wasn't for Dan and all the things he did for RDAP Dan. We'll get to that, but RDAP Dan just kind of saved this guy, guys. Well, I'll let you tell him everything he did.
RDAP Dan.
Angie helped your mother out. I know I've helped you out. We all, you got a team working for you, man.
Yeah, definitely. But yeah, I would have been in the federal holdup right now, in the federal holding facility, if it wasn't for Dan and really my lawyer. He came through at the end, and he did his job. He filed the motion this week on Monday. I didn't even know he filed that motion. He told me he filed the motion for me to self-surrender to the prison. Wow. I didn't even know. Yeah. What was the question?
Well, let's see. So you told kind of the background story to everybody about getting indicted and with your mother, and now you're out on free trial. And I want to get to your sentencing day, how much time you got, how much time you thought you were going to get, and then we'll get to why you're going to Otisville. Because Otisville, I don't know if you guys know, is probably the best prison that you could possibly go to, the camp. This is where all the Jewish lawyers go, all your big wigs. They have a swimming pool. It's the only one left with the swimming pool. They've got a tennis court. They've even got a 1-hole golf range, I understand. It's inmate made. It's probably, they don't mow the grass and keep it all up, but they have a driving range. I mean, it's not nothing fancy, guys. This is like, a bunch of weeds in the back of a high school kind of looking golf course, but they have it. It's everybody there is rich. The rich white, it's the real Club Fed. It's the last one really left. I don't know. 20 years ago, it was everything I just described. It may not be now. It could have a dried up pool now, just a bunch of dirt and weeds where the golf course used to be. I don't know. But 20 years ago, this is how it was happening. Is this what you kind of heard about Otisville?
Yeah, my friend actually just did a year in Otisville. He came home last year.
Okay. So was it still the country club?
Yeah, he said it was amazing. He said it was great.
Amazing. Well, see, I'm almost jealous, man.
No, he said that it was like a vacation from his family. He said, I took a year off from my family. He got 4 kids. So he was like, it was a vacation for my family. He had a great time over there. He said the only thing he said, it was very quiet. Too quiet over there. Too peaceful. It's like it's very peaceful, very quiet. Huh?
Too peaceful in a prison. That's
exactly.
That statement doesn't make any sense, but I get it,
No, he said it was like all day was quiet. No noises, nothing like that. Everybody's just chill. He said I was laying in bed all day. He said there's nothing to do over there. He said just read books and that's it.
Wow. Where'd Angie go? I wanted to hear from Angie if she's back. Angie, can you hear us? I wanted to get you on here. Hey, can I ask a question real quick? Wendy out there, I'm trying to give you a wrench, and I got it, on the phone here. I know there's a way to do it. If you know, can you put it up there for me, Wendy? So I'm trying to throw you that wrench to make you a moderator. And anyways, let me know. So Vlad, your mother, is she gonna come on today? Is she home yet?
She's not home yet, but I think she's gonna be home in 10 minutes.
Okay, how about you got kids there right now? Your girlfriend? Anybody you want to bring?
Yeah, my girlfriend is here.
Bring her over real quick, man. Is she
She's
ready?
a little shy. She's a little shy, but I'm
Don't
gonna
be
ask
shy,
her.
don't be
Give me a
shy.
minute. Give me a minute. Larissa.
So he'll be back with his girlfriend, guys. Hey, I want to tell you, I'm going to put the number up on the screen. Well, it's scrolling across right now. If somebody wants to come on live, we're going to let Vladimir finish his little story. Then we'll just kind of do some chit chat about prison life and stuff with Vlad and
Nah,
Angie.
she's too shy. She doesn't want to.
Really?
Yeah, she's like.
We'll make you famous. No.
Yeah. Nah.
All right. So let me get into let's talk about your sentencing day, and then we'll go into what you've been going through now. Because when do you self surrender? You got
In 2 days. In 2 days.
2 days. Oh, I thought you had a week. Oh my God, in 2 days.
Yeah, I'm still surrendering on Monday.
Wow.
Yeah.
Oh, when do you guys see that? I did click on your name, and it doesn't give me that option. Maybe I got to do it on a different device. But it tells me I can mute you. I can give you a timeout. I don't want to do any of that. Hope I didn't hit the wrong button. I'll figure it out, Wendy. But I'll get you. Thank you, Wendy, for everything you do. So I'm sorry, Vlad. Wendy's kind of important to our channel. She really helps us grow. She spreads the word around, and we have about 25 channels now that are all together. I go on their shows. They come on mine, and we're growing in numbers. But Wendy's a big part of that. So. Anyways, Vlad, I know you're getting ready to go to prison. You probably don't care about YouTube right now, but
I mean, yeah, I'll be honest with you. I was really afraid when I was thinking that I'm going to, the federal facility, the MDC Brooklyn.
Yeah.
I was like, the reason why I was afraid, it wasn't really that I was afraid of how it's going to be there. It was just they still did not find a designation for me. Oh. So I was like, how long was I going to sit there? And am I even going to make it to prison?
Yeah.
That was my biggest fears, really. That was my biggest fear.
Sure.
And then yesterday on Friday at 3:00 during the day, my pretrial officer calls me. She's like, Vlad, guess what? We just found your prison.
Really?
I'm like, are you? Yeah. It was like 10 minutes before I called you. She calls me up. And she tells me, we found your prison, you're going to Otisville camp. And then my lawyer calls me right after that while I'm on the phone with my pretrial officer, and it tells me they let you self-surrender to the prison.
Yeah, so back up, because a lot of people, you didn't tell the part about, so, I mean, last week, as far as you knew, you had to report to the marshals, and you didn't know why, and you never got your letter to go to, you didn't get a letter, nobody knew what prison you were going to. So
yeah.
Because I want to talk about how RDAP Dan helped you, what I did to help you, and what Angie did for your mother. So, let's back up to sentencing day. You got 18 months to do. How much time did you think you're going to get before you got sentenced?
Well, at the beginning, when I was still fighting my case, they were offering me 47 to 53 months.
Okay.
That was my original offer.
Right.
So, I was talking to my lawyer at that time, and he was telling me I'll probably do like 2-3 years.
Okay.
So I was thinking about that. Then my lawyer, like 6 months later, he was able to get it down because he explained to the judge and to the prosecutor. I mean, not to the judge, to the prosecutor. He explained to her that during the time that the money laundering was being committed, I was outside of the country. So I could not have been part of the scheme because I literally was not in the country when it was committed.
So you would think that's good enough, right?
Yeah, and they originally they were charging me with money laundering for $2 or $3 million. Wow. I think that was the original charge. Then now they dropped it down to 500,000.
Okay.
Yeah, because they said that he really wasn't in the country, he wasn't part of the scheme. Right. So my guilt was $500,000. So they dropped my guideline. They dropped my time from 47 to 53 months. They dropped it to 27 to 33 months.
Wow, really? Wow.
Yeah. So when I was going into sentencing, I was facing 27 to 33 months.
Okay. And was that when you started calling us? Or me and
yeah,
Dan?
I started calling you around that time. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So for people out there that don't know, if you're on federal pretrial sentencing and stuff like that, I'm glad to help you. Angie down there is glad to help you. RDAP Dan, we don't. There's a lot of prison consultants out there. They won't even take your call unless you give them $10,000 first. I've been helping guys for 2 years now. I've had my channel. I have no problem answering your questions, whatever like that. I wanted to hear from Angie real quick because I know you're disappearing and stuff, Angie. Because you worked with his mother and stuff. What was going on with you when his mother called you? Because guys, his mother is 50 years old now and she's going to prison. Imagine a woman 50 years old going to prison.
That was kind of my story because I went at 49.
There you go.
And luckily I was only in there for one. Actually, that's not true. I went in at 50 and I got out right after I turned 51, like right after I turned 51. So sorry, there's a thing going on in the back. I can't really turn it down. But
music, yeah.
Can you guys still hear me? Okay, I'm sorry.
Yeah, I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. So when she called me, I understood where she was at because I had been in the same position.
Right.
And so when we talked, I just kind of wanted to know where her head was and help her with her sentencing report because I knew what she wanted to say. Vlad, you shared it with me, and I knew that what she was trying to say, but I knew how the judge would take it. So I just altered, and updated what she was actually trying to say so that the judge wouldn't take offense to it. Do you know what I mean?
She actually learned by heart, like what you wrote down. She was able to memorize everything, and she didn't read off the letter. She spoke from the heart. Like she spoke everything that you said. She added some of her own stuff. She gave a big speech to the judge. I was shocked. I didn't know she even speaks English that good, to be honest with you. And yeah. she spoke so good. I was like,
I'm so pleased because it really did work out for her. And she's on my mind all the time because I know she's going in on Monday and I just know what that feels like. So
sure.
How's she doing?
She's just like preparing, she's preparing right now the last minute things. Like we're putting our clothes in storage right now and we're selling our car and she's running around all day long. She's not even home. Like she leaves home at 10 o'clock in the morning. She comes back around 8 o'clock every day.
Yeah, and she's been. Did she quit her job yet, or is she still working?
Oh no, she quit her job this week on Monday.
I would have quit. I would have gave myself I would have quit my job a month ahead of time. But
you know what? I worked all the way up until 2 days before I went in.
Wow. Why did you do that? I mean, I can understand. Maybe you just want to. You don't want to stop to think about what you had to go to prison. Is that
I think for me, I think that's what it was for me. It was like I was going to go crazy if I wasn't just working. I had to keep it the status quo and I had to keep my head in the right space. And for me, it was work up until the last minute, go in, be done. Do you know what I mean? That's the only way I can kind of handle it.
Now, Vlad, you've been going crazy. You haven't worked because you call me at 3 a.m. and screaming and yelling and you've been going crazy. I know that, right?
Well, the thing is, I'm on house arrest.
Yeah.
You see, I have a ankle bracelet.
Still got it on.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. Wow. Still got it. When are they going to cut it off?
They're going to cut it off on Monday. I'm going to go 8:30 in the morning. They're going to cut off the bracelet, and they're going to let me be late to my surrendering. They told me I can be late by 3 hours.
Whoa. Oh, 3 hours. So how far is Otisville from where you live?
3 hours away.
Okay. So I was going to say, because I had a 2-day journey. I had to go from California to Florida California to Florence, Colorado on a bus, on a Greyhound, and I think it was at least 20-hour bus trip. Maybe it was longer than that, but yeah. So
I flew in, spent the weekend in California with my friends, and then they dropped me off. Where's your mom's going to Danbury? Is that right?
Yeah, she's going to Danbury, Connecticut.
So she's flying in when?
No, she's not flying in. Her husband is going to drive her there.
Now that's got to be a road trip.
What time does she have to get there?
She got to be there before 10 in the morning. So she's leaving the house around 6 o'clock in the morning.
Wow. All right. Well, let's talk about how I want to know when you because you called me one time last week or whatever. You told me that even if you knew what you didn't know what prison you were going to go to at the time. And this is before you found out about that you had to turn yourself into the Marshals, because you were telling me they're not going to cut my ankle bracelet off till the day I go in, and we didn't know what prison you're going to go to. This is all because you thought you were going to turn yourself into the Marshals, right? So the whole turning of events, you told me it was because RDAP Dan made that phone call. Is that what
Right.
changed everything?
So our dad then last week, I think on Thursday or Wednesday, he made a phone call to the Marshals, and he spoke to them, and they told him apparently I had 2 register numbers.
That's what it was.
Yeah. So when I got arrested the first time, they gave me a register number, and then in my sentencing, they gave me another register number. So they couldn't figure out what to do with me. They didn't know which register number to put me on. So sorry, they didn't know which register number to put me under, and all that. So RDAP then is like, okay, guys, you can merge both numbers into one. They're like, really? He's like, yeah, you can do that. So they found out. They said, yeah, we can do that. So they merged both numbers, and they told him we're gonna find a federal prison for him in 24 to 48 hours.
See, RDAP Dan, I didn't know he was that good where he could tell the Marshals how to do their job, and they listened and did it. Wow, that's impressive, man.
Seriously.
You know what I mean?
No, I was so happy. I was like, oh my God. I was like, I was ecstatic, man. I was like, you just saved me, man. And he even told me, if I didn't make this phone call, you would have been sitting up in federal jail in the MDC of Brooklyn for the whole year. They would have never got around to do this.
I know 2 guys that did not want to. They wanted to turn themselves early. They didn't want to wait till the day. So they told me, I'm just going to go to the Marshals and turn myself. 2 different guys did it. I'm going to turn myself into the Marshals because I just want to get it over with. Now I go, don't do that. You're going to be locked up in transit in Oklahoma City. It's exactly what happened. One of them, well, he did about 8 months in the transit. The other guy did his whole 18 months, like you were probably going to do, with promises that we're going to move you here, we're going to move you there. They won't tell you when they're going to move you till the morning of, and then they say, roll them up. The bus is here. What bus? So you're going to Oklahoma City. Then they take you to SeaTac in Washington State. Then they take you to the Brooklyn one. And they just move you all around to transport centers with the promises that they're going to, we've got a camp. We're working on getting you into a camp. And it never happens with these 2 guys. Well, one guy, 8 months, he finally got to a camp. And the other guy, the whole time. And that's how they do it, man. I mean, you're a piece of paper that's being shuffled.
Yeah, you're a number. You're a number.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was really scared. I was like, oh my God, just sitting there with the thought in your mind that you have no idea what's going on. You can't call nobody. Nobody can help you. You're just gonna sit there and wait for months and months and months until they're gonna transfer you.
Yeah, and I mean, it's like a big county jail. I mean, there's no programs or classes to take. There's no case manager to talk to get earned time credits for. You don't get any of the earned time credits for the First Step Act. You get nothing. I've heard sometimes they won't even let you order commissary because you're about to get transferred, which never happens. Is that true too?
Yeah, I heard that guys. Yeah, I heard that guys never get their commissary.
Hey, we got a question. Yeah, go on. I got a question after this for some study.
No, that's it. Go ahead.
This is for you, Vlad. Strange and unusual. I have a question. What's on your mind when you self-surrender? That's a good one.
Honestly, at this point, I just want to get it over with. Yeah, I just want to get there as soon as possible. Get settle in, get comfortable. Figure everything out. I just want to be done with this. I want to come back out. I want to get a job. I want to work. I just want to get my life back, to be honest with you.
See, now, is that kind of what you told the judge? Because what you just said there, and it sounds believable, because I know we've practiced on role-playing and stuff before you got to the judge. What you just said is what the judge wants to hear. You just said positive things about what you're going to do with the rest of your time. You know what I mean?
Right.
Angie, when you self-surrendered, do you remember where your mind was at?
Yeah, I was actually I was just kind of like in this weird headspace because I was like, I can't believe this is happening. I can't believe this is where I'm at. But like Vlad, I was like, I'm ready to go in and get this over with. Like I was really anxious to just get there. I got there pretty early in the morning because I just wanted to get it over with. The anxiety of waiting and waiting and waiting was too much. It's better once
Yeah,
once you're
honestly,
in, right?
the anxiety kills you. Like
Yes.
I can't, I can't even concentrate. I'm drinking every day for the past week because I can't even concentrate normally, and I drink like 2 bottles of wine a day just to calm myself down.
No, I know that I did the same thing on self-surrender. I got 90 days to turn myself in. I wanted to go early too. And my lawyer said we'd have to set up a new court date. Now, by the time that happens, the 90 days will be up. So,
Yeah, Sean, but you were in pre-trial for like what, 4 years?
4 years, man.
So was I. I was the same as Sean. This went on for years.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I had 9 co-defendants, and a few of them, kind of told on me, but they wanted me to get the most time, so I had to be the last one sentenced. And I said, "What about my right to a speedy trial? You gave up that right when you signed that plea deal. So now you're on our time." And those guys kept delaying their sentences. One guy got he got beat up. So one guy, his name was Wojo. I can't say his last name, but he got hooked on crack, and he got back on the crack, and he was wandering around in the Tenderloin homeless. He got beat up by a whole bunch of guys and jumped bloody, everything, broken legs, everything. He was in a hospital. They actually waived. He didn't have to do any time, but that delayed his sentence. Yeah, he got beat up really bad. They said his mind was going to be broken for the rest of his life. I guess. They won't let me talk to him. He was a good friend of mine. I'm not allowed to talk to any of my co-defendants. One of them was my fiance, but they did me a favor because when they said we can't talk, a month later she hooked up with another guy, and then she wore a wire and tried to, get a better. Get a better sentence for herself, and it's fine. They did me a favor, but she still got 29 months at Dublin. But the feds will break up families. I've heard a whole family.
Wait, she was in Dublin?
She was in Dublin. Before she got out before you went in, I think.
Okay.
Yeah, but they break. You're lucky you get to talk to your mother because all that stuff they told you, your mother, that your family turned against you and they want you to testify against them.
Right, and it was funny
if you
because
did testify against your mother, you wouldn't be allowed to ever speak to her again until you're off probation. Did you know that? Right. Yeah, that would have been a violation.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, they break up families.
Well, they did say that me and my mother cannot speak to each other about our case when we're home. And they said it's up to us really how it's gonna happen, but who can control that?
Why can't I talk to my buddies that my co-defendants? They were my friends, right? I know we still care about each other. What are we gonna do? Talk all bad things about the government? Yeah, so what? I'm doing it now on the show. You know what I mean? Why can't I talk to my best friends, right?
You know what? My co-defendant was my best friend, and I was never told I couldn't talk to her.
No, I'm still told that. This last probation officer, and I Facebooked my ex-girlfriend, the fiance, while I was on pretrial, and she got scared, I guess, and called my pretrial officer. And I think we had the same pretrial officer. And I got called in, and they were going to violate me. They gave me one little chance, but they set a court hearing for the violation because I said hello to her on Facebook. And I did it from another account. I made up a fake Facebook account and said hello to her. And she knew it was me. I said it was me. But anyways, they were going to throw me in jail. If you violate on pretrial, this is in my first year of pretrial. I would have had to spend 3 more years waiting to get sentenced, right? And you get no credit time served.
I know. That's the scariest part of it, to be honest with you.
No credit time served. So if anybody out there in federal pretrial, you violate and they'll lock you up in detention, you don't get any credit time served until you get sentenced.
Guys, I was never on pretrial at all.
What do you mean? Just when you called me. What would you call that?
I wasn't on pretrial. I went, I got set. I was never, I didn't have to check in with anybody, nothing until I surrendered.
Some people get that. But
I never had anyone to check in with. I never had to talk to anyone. I didn't have any kind of monitor. I lived my life 100% normal until the day I turned myself in.
You got indicted, and all you knew is one day they're going to call you to go to court. I mean, you must have a lawyer. You had.
It took 3.5 years before they told me that I was even being indicted.
Oh, well, so that happened a year before that. That's what happened to me. They raided my house and I wasn't indicted yet. But once you get indicted, then you're put on pretrial.
Pretrial, though, is a specified thing where you had to check in with people. I never was on there.
You never did. But
not once. Neither did my
co-defendant.
We were not on pretrial.
The whole. So you had a lawyer or public defender that you talked to, right?
I hired an attorney, and so did she.
Okay. You're still being investigated. I mean, when did you actually get indicted?
In 2019.
And when did you get sentenced?
2020.
So about a year. So
very end of 2020.
So
but
the
it wasn't.
time you're talking about before was that's when like they raided my house and told me don't leave town and all that, and you'll be hearing from us, and chances are you're going to prison. But I had nobody to check into either until I got indicted. Then they assigned me to pretrial services.
And I never had that ever.
Never had that ever. Wow, I didn't know that. I haven't heard of that. Normally, you get indicted. Now you go to see the magistrate, and they decide whether to keep you locked up until you get sentenced or let you go home while you get
That
sentenced.
did not happen to me or my co-defendant.
You never had an arraignment?
Yeah, but that's all it was. Like, we walked into court, said guilty, and left. That was it. We never had a single officer or anyone to check into.
Very interesting.
That's crazy. I also can't believe that.
Yeah, you never told me this, Angie. I don't know if we can be friends.
I didn't realize that everybody was on pretrial because we never were. We were never arrested either.
They never arrested me. They just had me go to court. It said you've now been indicted, basically, and you're going to have to be put on pretrial. And I didn't even know what they were talking about. What the pretrial? I had no clue what they were talking about. But yeah, they went fingerprinted me and made me sign some papers. And
I didn't even get fingerprinted until a week before I turned myself in.
Wow. So you could have left the country if you wanted to.
Yes, I had no stipulations. In fact, I traveled extensively before I went in to many different states.
Wow. I don't know.
It's amazing. Okay.
Yeah.
Well,
so everybody's different.
Yeah. I've just recently found out, since I've been doing the show, about target letters. I didn't even know what those are until a year ago. Fed Phoenix, Audrey, I don't know if you guys have seen her on my show. She'll be getting out soon. But she got a target letter, which means you get a letter in the mail that you've been targeted on an investigation, and that's all they say. Right? And it's a real letter. At first you thought it's some scam, or they want gift cards. I got to send it to, it was real from the government. But you get a letter saying you're under investigation, and then nothing happens until they indict you, until they come to, till you get another letter saying show up in court. You've now been indicted. But that target letter is scary. That's a scary letter. And at first you think it's a fake letter.
Yeah, I never got anything like that. They just showed up at my job.
Yeah, I mean, kind of strange.
Yeah, we never got anything like that too. They actually broke the door down in my apartment.
They did. Didn't it knock first?
At 5 o'clock in the morning.
Did they bother to knock first?
No, my mother was sleeping. They broke the entire door, and it was a metal door. They were banging on it so hard, she thought it was robbers. Somebody's trying to kill her. So they broke the whole door, ran in like 20, 30 agents with guns pointed at her while she was in bed.
Wow.
I can't imagine how scary that must have been for her.
Yeah, it was insane. She was shocked. No, she was shocked.
I got a warning they were coming to my house because they raided. I told you I had 9 co-defendants. In one day they raided 9 houses, but they went from. There was 2 different groups of them doing it, right? And there was 30 black SUVs on the block or something like that. None of the neighbors had a place to park, not even in their driveway.
They never came to my house.
Wow. But I got a call from one of my friends. He goes, "Hey, they're raiding my house right now, man, and I know they're coming to yours next because they want you. They're asking about you. They didn't have your new address, but now they found it. So they're coming." So I started packing up stuff. My girlfriend was living with me at the time, and we were just going to take a trip and run out of town. And I'm bringing suitcases to my car. There was a guy watching my house all morning. He stepped out and he goes, "Oh, Mr. Cowgill, yeah, I'm with the United States Treasury Department. We're here to search your house and seize anything that we like. Here's the paperwork." And he stops me at the car and walks me in. And he called the Antioch police and said, "You can forget. Tell the police we're not going to need them. We're going to have to go now because because I decided to leave. And he goes, are you going somewhere? Are you going on vacation, Mr. Cowgill? Are you going out of town? I go, well, yeah, I was going to take a trip. Oh, why would that be? I go, because I heard you're coming. He goes, what? Who told you? Who told you? Right? And I told him. And so anyways, they raided 9 houses all in one day. All of us. Yeah, it's crazy. Yeah. And nobody got arrested. But they made me sit in my garage. They said, you can either leave and, we'll give you a call when we're done with your house, or you can stay here in a secured area in your house. So I'll stay at my house. And they go, if you do leave, you have to leave your phone with us. I go, I got a and your wallet. You can leave, but you can't. We're taking all that. So I said, I'll stay at my house. They kept me in my garage the whole time, like a hostage. It was crazy. Yeah. I'll never forget that one.
Sean, so
yeah.
Tell me, please, what do I need to bring? Like, what can I bring with me to
Yeah, good point. And Angie can answer this question too. What you want to know? What you can take with you to prison, right?
And and you said I can send the information that I need, like my phone numbers and emails and addresses. Like, explain to me that.
Yeah. So here's first thing you want to do is go on the BOP website for Otisville, right? And you want it'll say it'll say how to send mail to inmates. You want to get that address. You want to write down that address, right? And now, your BOP number, you have a new number that's been merged together with the 2 numbers, right? That the RDAP Dan got for you.
I think it's my register number. Is it not?
Well, you need to find out which one they're going to let you use now. That's very important because you'll never get mail.
I know, because that's how I'm going to get my money.
Yeah, so that's the first thing you got to find out. Now, we can go on the BOP website and they're going to have your registered number, but I don't know if that's the one they're actually going to use because they made RDAP Dan had them merge 2 numbers together. So which one are they keeping? Do you know?
How do I find that out?
Well, I thought RDAP Dan, he didn't tell you?
No.
He didn't. He just said to merge the 2 numbers together, but you don't know what the real number is now, right? Call the marshals. No. Call the marshals. Tell them. You guys have merged. Yeah, tell them. Explain the story that you had 2 numbers. They merged them together. I'm getting ready to self-surrender. Which one is my actual official number now that I can use? Because you got to find that out. That's how everybody's going to send money on your books. Yeah, so you need to find that out like today. Right. Marshals might be open. Are the marshals open on the weekend? Anybody know?
It's hard to get a hold of them on the weekend. They're more of an 8 to 5.
And you get a Monday morning. You got to go to prison.
Yeah, I don't think they're open on the weekend.
You got. I mean, go check on the BOP website and use that number for now. But I don't know if it's the same number that.
Also, Sean, you said I can bring money with me, right?
Yeah, I wouldn't bring like $5,000 or nothing, but
I would take like 500 cash.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm taking $300 with me.
Yeah, because that's about all you could spend in a month, anyways. That they're gonna let you.
Yeah. That's smart. I think I took 300 cash or 400 or something.
I think it was $360 a month was the limit that you could spend a month, and that's divided in half. So it's that's what's at 360. Half of that is like 180 or something. So you can spend 180 in a 2-week period and another 180 in a 2-week period, and you go to the store once a week. So
I could spend it all at one swoop.
Well, we could spend the whole. Wow, we can only spend 180, and then you got to wait 3 weeks till the next one.
Okay, we could spend it all in one day if we wanted to.
The whole 300. Wow. Well, every camp it does have different rules on that.
So, but I agree, Sean. 300 is a good amount.
Yeah, that's a lot. Yeah. And when you get there, the first thing I've done videos on this. The number one item that you want to get. In my opinion, what is the first one commissary item is shower shoes. Get that above anything else.
And I was told that too, but then at Dublin they give them to you.
Oh well, then you're good. You're good.
But usually they don't. So
right. I mean, they got cheap ones for like $2, or they get the real fancy ones for 10. But I just get the cheap ones because they're just going in the shower, man. But you're gonna get there and you want to buy. Well, to answer your first question. Write a list of all your friends, your family, people you want to contact. You want to have their name, their address, their email, and their phone number on there. All right. Now make 3 copies. Okay. 3 copies. Okay. One you're going to bring with you. One you're going to mail to yourself. like tomorrow, you can put it in Sunday in the mailbox this weekend because it'll take a few days to get there. You want to mail that to yourself, okay? And the third one is one you want to give to somebody else, like maybe send it to me, okay? And I'll have a copy in case you lose all that. They won't let you take the letter into the jail that the prison that you're going to. Some do, some don't. Some say no, you can't bring anything in here, and they take it, or they'll say you got to mail it home, but they're not going to let you take it in there, right? There's a chance that mail may not get to you the one that you mailed yourself. Now you're depending on me because I've got the last one. All right, so and and if I don't hear from you in a week, I mail it to you. You know what?
Okay, so explain to me, Sean. When I mail the letters, what do I put on the letter when I mail it?
So if you go to the BOP.gov website, it tells you how it might be your inmate name, registration number, and the address. But every prison has its own specific address, especially if it's a camp.
I'm going to pull it up for you right now while you guys are talking.
If it's a camp next to a medium, you got to specify it's going to the camp and not the penitentiary, even though they both have the same address. So, yeah, that BOP website is your Bible, man. All the rules and regulations on there, commissaries on there, all the programs that they offer. They're not always up to date now, but yeah, we need to. I should pull it up too because I want to check your the level of the pandemic is going on. There's levels 1, 2, 3, and 4.
Oh yeah, Sean.
4,
also, yeah. I want to ask you: do I bring my ID, my social security card, my birth certificate,
yes,
and my COVID vaccine card?
You want all that. You want to bring your originals, and they usually did. I haven't heard of them losing those on people. They'll lose other things, but they don't lose those for some reason. So let me get to yeah, you want to bring a birth certificate if you can get one, but definitely a social security card and an ID or driver's license.
Okay.
I'm pulling it up too. I can put it on the screen here in a minute. Let me get to a location here. I can even put it on. I got 2 screens now, so I can show you guys this. I'm pulling it up here. List of facilities. Have you been to the website yet?
Yeah, I've been to the website. Yeah.
Okay. Because I always tell people, I mean, you can get so much information off that website. Yeah. Hey, somebody's coming in. Angie. Another Angie? We got 2 Angies. 2 Angies. Which one?
No, I got locked out somehow, and I don't know why.
Doublemint twins. It's Doublemint twins. I see 2 of you on my screen.
This one, I don't know because it kicked me off on my end. So
all right, I'm going to remove the other one. Okay, there you go. Wow, I was seeing double there. Wait, no, you're coming in again?
Yeah. Oh, here I am twice again.
I could have had 5. Oh, you're multiplying. All right, which one do I take off? No, there. Okay. Oh, that was a trick. I'm seeing double. All right. All right. I'm gonna put it up on the screen here. The Otisville thing. If I can do this here. Share
you got it. I had it, and then that's when I got kicked out.
Oh well, see, because the trick is on StreamYard, you got to have 2 screens. I got a second screen. Like here. It's coming up. Pull up.
Anyway, Vlad, all you're gonna do is put your name, your reg number, and the address that Sean's giving you right now. And you're just going to mail it to yourself that way.
So there's Otisville, guys. And so it says right down here how to send things here. Inmate mail, inmate money, freight and non-USPS parcels, and staff mail. Now the freight that they're talking about, USPS, that's when you order a special thing from the arts and crafts room or maybe the music room, and they do let you order special things. They have their own kind of commissary book at the in the rec center. Inmate mail. So here we go. I'll blow it up for you. Zooming in. If you guys can see that. Let's go down. So you want your inmate name and register number. FCI Otisville Federal Correction Institution, P.O. Box 1000, Otisville, New York 10963. Just like they have it there. So it's your name first and then your number, all on that one line. You got that? Can you see that on the screen?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And let's check out what else they say here. Like how to send money, inmate money. Oh, no. Oh, now you saw that I just showed you? That was for the FCI, which then the inmates at the camp. So I gave you the wrong one. And that's what you got to be careful of. There's two here. Now let me show you the other one. Yeah, so you got to be careful. So yeah, I gave you the wrong information. I'll give you the right information. See here now, this one? Yeah. This is inmates at the camp. See now, I should, all people should know to look for this. And now it's FCI Otisville Federal Correction Institution. Excuse me. And then you put satellite camp, PO Box 1000, Otisville, New York. Mm-hmm. So you get that? See, I almost gave you wrong information, man.
Okay.
So I didn't know Otisville had an FCI next to it, but I guess it does. I didn't say it.
What is an FCI?
A medium, usually.
Oh yeah, low. You got a medium. You got a medium. Okay. Yeah, it's a medium.
Because it didn't say that on the main picture. Here it says. Oh, it does say medium security federal correction institution with an adjacent minimum security satellite camp. So I used to ask, what's the difference between minimum security? What's the difference between the camp? What's the difference between a satellite camp? What's an adjacent satellite camp? What is a camp and what is a satellite camp? All these things, right? They're all the same thing, but a satellite camp is something that revolves around, like the sun revolves around, the moon revolves around the earth. That's a satellite, but it's part of the earth. It's part of the earth, you know what I mean? So the earth revolves around the sun, and that's part of our galaxy, but it's a satellite. So it's next. A satellite means the camp is next to something. If it doesn't have the word satellite, then it's usually a camp all by itself. And minimum security and camps are the same thing. Okay. There is such a thing as called a low security, and that's called a low security, which is above a camp. So below. So here's the order. It goes high, medium, low camp. High, medium, low camp. Okay. Camp is as low as you can get. If it says low security, there's still something lower called a camp. So there's 4 levels in the feds. If anybody's listening, I didn't know all that stuff in the beginning. How to send things here. The money. Let me do that. We'll do the money and then inmate money. So do not send money to an inmate using this facility's address. All funds sent through the mail must be addressed to a processing center in Des Moines, Iowa.
No, but if you click on learn more about sending funds, it says you can send funds.
You can send what?
You can send funds through Western Union.
Yeah, well, I was going to get to that. But in a lot of a lot of people have grandmothers and stuff sending them money, and they don't know how to use Western Union or MoneyGram, and they don't really. All they got is a landline phone and an old-fashioned checking account, right? So they want to send you a money order. It's got to be only a money order, and they don't. They're not gonna. A lot of people, relatives don't. They don't want to do this. They want to send you money. They do realize if you're gonna send money, it's only a money order. You can't send a check. And like my grandmother or my aunt, she's 90 years old. She would go down to Walgreens and get a money order from Walgreens and then mail it to me. And she had to mail it to Des Moines, and that takes a while for all that to clear. But we got MoneyGram or Western Union. Let me blow that up. So first is MoneyGram. What you'll need, where to send, troubleshoot problems. It says sending funds using MoneyGram. See if I can get all this in here. If you guys can see it. Inmates can receive funds at BOP managed facility, which are deposited into their commissary accounts. You can send an inmate funds electronically using MoneyGram's express payment system. Funds are received and processed 7 days per week, including holidays. Funds sent between 7 a.m. and 9 p.m. are posted within 2 to 4 hours. Yeah, the money comes pretty fast. And the instructions are here, guys. And there's details and stuff. And it's going to give you like a code. So you wait until the inmate is physically arrived at the Bureau of Prisons. So you got to physically arrive there and be in their computer system. You used to be able to do this a day before. They don't do that anymore. So Vlad, any money coming, tell them to wait till you've been there like 3-4 hours to send it, because you got to be in their system. They don't no longer let you do it before you get to prison. Okay, so they need to locate your whereabouts, view the details. So you're gonna have they need the following information. They're gonna need your 8-digit registration number.
I'm bringing money
need,
with me. I'm bringing money with me. So
yeah, but
my
I'm thinking
family,
people want to mail you money.
yeah, my family, they're
Well,
gonna send me money.
anybody
Only
wants to know, I'm just gonna let you know. But if anybody wants to know, go to the BOP website. It's all there. I'll get out of here. Let me get off the screen. And there we go. That's that. I guess we lost Angie. So it's been almost an hour. Vlad.
There's an easier way to do this. All you do is you go on the Western Union website. You go to pay an inmate, and it pops up Federal Bureau of Prisons, and then you put in all the information, and then the money is sent.
They already have it. I was going to get to Western Union next because some people like MoneyGram, some like Western Union. Western Union charges more though.
Yeah, but you can just send it from your house. It's that easy.
I know. You can do it with MoneyGram too from your house, but MoneyGram's a little cheaper, but it's more steps to send the money. Because MoneyGram, I think, is 10 for every $100 you send. It's cost them $10. Western Union charges $20 or $15 for every 100. But they have specials. Western Union will have a special where they'll charge you $10 for any amount, or $5 for any amount. They have specials.
I usually if people send me money through Western Union for like $300, they will charge me maybe $20.
Yeah, but that's when you catch them when they're having a sale. They call it a sale, but their normal price is $15, I believe, for every $100. Mm-hmm. So if you're gonna send $500, 5 times 15, Yeah, but they do sales. It's been about an hour, Vlad, and I do got things I got to do today. But let's wrap it up. Some final questions, and then I want to hear your final goodbyes to the world. But not to me, because you're going to be in touch with me, right? You got my email, right?
Yeah, I got your email. I have your phone number, so I'm going to call you from prison.
Yeah, phone calls are still free, at least till the end of the year.
Yeah, I heard.
Yeah, 500 minutes. They may change it in January. I don't know. But for right now, they're free.
Hopefully they don't change it.
Right. Any final questions? You can always call me, later. But
yeah, I think I'm good, man. I mean, I know everything I need to know. Now I'm just gonna go on the BOP website, get their address, and that's it. I'm gonna wrap it up.
All right. So how about some final words to the world, man? Because this will be on YouTube. You can catch this rerun when you get out of prison. You can go watch you can watch this show when you get out of prison to remember what it was like before you went in,
Yeah. Well, last words is, I can say, that just stay positive all the way to the end. And you gotta fight for your place under the sun. Like, you really gotta fight. Like, I fought every day. I called the marshals almost on a daily basis. My lawyer, my pre-trial officer, Sean, RDAP Dan, Angie. I was calling everybody. I was fighting to get to where I'm going right now. If I wasn't fighting, I would have been done. I would have been sitting in the MDC Brooklyn for months or my whole sentence. So, you got to fight for yourself, really.
Yeah, you do got to fight. The good news is you're going to the safest prison probably in this whole country. But there's also a lot of jealousy, I think, that goes on there because all these guys have money. I don't think that you're going to be part of their jealousy. But you're going to run into some pretty intelligent and very wealthy men in there. So.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, so maybe I'll get some connections. Maybe I'll find some connections.
Different kind of prison. The guy who's running, the shot caller in Otisville is probably going to be a Jewish doctor or a Jewish lawyer. That's an inmate. You go to the penitentiary, he's somebody's bitch. But there at Otisville, he's running the camp.
Did you hear about Steve Bannon getting sentenced to 4 months in prison?
Oh yeah, because I watch his show. Something can't remember the name. I watch his show on TV in the internet. Yeah, that's what he got, man.
He might be going to my prison.
And Alex Jones, they're after him too, man. InfoWars.
For real? I know he just paid money, like $50 million.
Yeah, I mean, they're coming after him. I mean, they're trying to get him too. They're trying to get Trump. They're trying to get, anybody that's on the red side or the right side. They're trying to get him, man.
And I heard, Steve Bannon might be coming to Otisville.
That's where he goes. See, that's where a guy like him goes. I think that guy Michael Trump's lawyer that went to prison, didn't he go to Otisville too? Michael Cohen, was that his name? Yeah.
I think so. Yeah.
Yeah, that's where all the big shots go, man. But they don't allow child molesters in the camp. So the guys like the Weinsteins and the Einsteins and all those guys, that they don't go to camps.
And no snitches, right?
Epstein's and the Weinsteins, right? They're all, those are pieces of shit guys anyways. I'm glad they got them.
And those no snitches are allowed also, right?
Well, here's the thing. Especially at Otisville, I'm going to say probably 80% of people in there testified against other people on their case. Yeah, almost everybody, but they don't snitch when you get to prison. There's a big difference. Now, they don't tolerate that in the penitentiary. They don't care if you turned in the penitentiary. A snitch is a snitch, right? But in the lows in the camps, everybody told on everybody else before they got there, mostly. Even the drug dealers, because you got 5 years for 200 pounds of cocaine or meth, and you only got 5 years. They told on somebody, and that's the facts. You can accept it or not accept it, but I'm telling you, at least 50% of anybody in the camp told on somebody. They had that 5K thing. I tried to tell my ex-girl, my fiance told on me, wore the wire. I said, well, then she's still doing the tax. She's still doing tax fraud. So I want to snitch back on her. And they wouldn't let me do it. They just laughed, but I was going to snitch back. But, snitch on me, I'll snitch on you back. Fuck you. But,
yeah, in my case, nobody snitched. I mean, I don't know about nobody. Like my mother,
somebody did. Somebody did that. Like the witnesses, there was trust me. They investigated. There was somebody that knew what you were doing, and they said something. That person never even got indicted, but they had witnesses that told on you. See, there's a witness is also a snitch. Did you know that? In the prison code, yeah,
no.
A witness can be a snitch. You see one car crash into another car, and you tell the cops, that guy right there driving that blue SUV, he crashed into that white Toyota Honda. That's snitching, Right. But where do you draw the line, Right?
Yeah.
So, but yeah, they're all snitches in there, if you want to call it that. But in the white collar world, they don't have that same code. It's not a big deal to tell on your.
Well, Sean, let me ask you, like,
I don't know. Yeah.
In the camps, like, can I talk to people other races?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, you can sit with them, anything, hang out with them, no problem. Yeah.
But I cannot eat with them, right?
Yeah, you can eat with them. Yeah. You usually got to be invited to their table, but I mean, a couple guys have told me their camps, it'd be mixed tables. Where I was at, we mixed up. I mean, sometimes there'd be a black guy, Mexican guy, Chinese guy, and me sitting at a table just because that's I came late to dinner, and that's where I said, there's no big deal. Nobody cares. Nobody cares at all, man. The only thing was they used to give me shit. Sometimes if I came too late, there's a bunch of gay guys, and I'd have to go eat with them. And I used to get shit with that. What you sit with the gay guy? What are you gay? No, I don't know. There's no else to say, guys. And they just laugh at me. They go, I know, we're just playing. We're just pushing your buttons. But that's the gays are the ones that really they have their table. They're the only ones that really want to be separated.
So you got gays in the camp also?
You're not gays, but that's not a child molester. Most of those gays hate child molesters. They'll shank a child molester before you get there. Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
All right, Sean. So that's all I wanted to know, man.
Yeah. So we're good. Give me a call Monday if you have time. I know you're going to be busy, but if not, I'll say my goodbyes now and wait to hear from you when you get there. Okay.
All right, man.
It's been a pleasure knowing you, and I want to keep knowing you. All right.
All right, man. I appreciate all your help. Everybody that helped me.
Have a drink on me tonight, man. Have a drink on me tonight, and your mother.
Okay, definitely, Sean. I will. Thank you, man.
I gotta go. Thanks, guys, for watching, and call me if you need some help. All right, bye.
All right, bye.